Let's get ready for the Oklahoma real estate exam with 100 questions covering key state laws, principles, and practices you'll need to know. And keep an eye on the bottom corner. There's something there that could make a big difference in your prep. We'll tell you how to use it in just a minute. Now let's get started.
Let's start with a review of licensing requirements and procedures. Oklahoma licensing requirements and procedures. What is the minimum age requirement to apply for a real estate license in Oklahoma? Is it A, 16 years, B, 18 years, C, 21 years, or D, 25 years? The answer is B, 18 years. In Oklahoma, applicants must be at least 18 years old to qualify for a real estate license. This requirement ensures that individuals have reached the age of majority and can legally enter into contracts. Which of the following is a requirement for obtaining a real estate license in Oklahoma? Is it A, complete a 90-hour pre-license education course, B, pass a national criminal background check, C, obtain a sponsorship from a licensed broker, or D, have a minimum of 3 years of real estate experience? The answer is A, complete a 90-hour pre-license education course. Applicants must complete a 90-hour pre-license education course approved by the Oklahoma Real Estate Commission to ensure they are adequately prepared for the licensing exam.
Have you noticed the code in the bottom corner? Next time you're stumped, take that code to birdsy.ai for immediate help and a free study session with Birdsy, your personal AI study partner. Plus, you'll get access to hundreds of additional questions, helping you move closer to passing your exam with confidence. The next time you're feeling unsure or stuck, give it a try.
What is the required number of pre-license education hours for an Oklahoma real estate license applicant? Is it A, 60 hours, B, 75 hours, C, 90 hours, or D, 120 hours? The answer is C, 90 hours. Oklahoma requires real estate license applicants to complete 90 hours of pre-license education. This ensures that applicants are well prepared and knowledgeable about real estate practices and laws before taking the licensing exam. Which of the following is a post-license requirement for new real estate licensees in Oklahoma within the first year? Is it A, 45 hours of post-license education, B, 60 hours of continuing education, C, 30 hours of additional pre-license education, or D, 15 hours of ethics training? The answer is A, 45 hours of post-license education. In Oklahoma, new real estate licensees must complete 45 hours of post-license education within the first year of obtaining their license. This further education helps solidify foundational knowledge and practices in real estate. Continuing education requirements. What is the minimum number of continuing education hours required for an Oklahoma real estate license renewal? Is it A, 15 hours, B, 18 hours, C, 21 hours, or D, 24 hours? The answer is C, 21 hours. Oklahoma real estate licensees must complete at least 21 hours of continuing education every 3 years to maintain their license. This ensures they stay updated on industry practices and regulations. Which of the following topics is mandatory in the continuing education curriculum for Oklahoma real estate professionals? Is it A, ethics, B, luxury real estate, C, international real estate, or D, real estate technology? The answer is A, ethics. Ethics is a mandatory topic in the continuing education curriculum for Oklahoma real estate professionals. This ensures that licensees adhere to ethical standards in their practice. How often must a real estate licensee in Oklahoma complete continuing education to maintain their license? Is it A, annually, B, every 2 years, C, every 4 years, Or D, every 3 years? The answer is D, every 3 years. In Oklahoma, real estate licensees are required to complete continuing education every 3 years. This periodic requirement helps ensure that professionals remain informed about changes in laws and practices. If an Oklahoma real estate licensee does not complete their continuing education requirements, what is the consequence? Is it A, a fine is imposed, B, inability to renew the license, C, license suspension for 1 year, or D, mandatory retake of licensing exam? The answer is B, inability to renew the license. Failure to complete continuing education requirements results in the inability to renew the real estate license. This ensures that all practicing agents are up to date with current industry standards. Oklahoma-specific exam structure and content. What is the minimum passing score required for the Oklahoma Real Estate Sales Associate exam? Is it A, 65%, B, 70%, C, 75%, or D, 80%? The answer is C, 75%. To pass the Oklahoma Real Estate Sales Associate exam, candidates must score at least 75%. This ensures that the candidate has a competent understanding of real estate principles and Oklahoma-specific laws. Which of the following is a required component of the Oklahoma Real Estate Sales Associate exam? Is it A, federal real estate laws, B, international real estate practices, C, Oklahoma real estate laws, or D, real estate ethics only? The answer is C, Oklahoma real estate laws. The Oklahoma Real Estate Sales Associate exam includes both national and state-specific questions. The state-specific portion tests knowledge of Oklahoma real estate laws, regulations, and practices. Which of the following topics is not typically covered in the Oklahoma real estate exam? Is it A, property management, B, real estate contracts, C, Oklahoma-specific laws, or D, advanced appraisal techniques? The answer is D, advanced appraisal techniques. The Oklahoma real estate exam covers topics like property management, real estate contracts, and Oklahoma-specific laws, but not advanced appraisal techniques, which are more specialized. What is the format of the Oklahoma Real Estate Sales Associate exam? Is it A, multiple choice questions, B, essay questions, C, true or false questions, or D, short answer questions? The answer is A, multiple choice questions. The Oklahoma Real Estate Sales Associate exam is a multiple choice test that assesses knowledge in various real estate topics, including contracts, property ownership, and state-specific laws. Let's continue with Oklahoma real estate laws and regulations. Oklahoma-specific fair housing laws. Which of the following is a protected class under the Oklahoma fair housing laws? Is it A, age, B, marital status, C, disability, or D, occupation? The answer is C, disability. Oklahoma fair housing laws protect classes such as race, color, religion, sex, national origin, familial status, and disability. These classes are safeguarded against discrimination in housing-related transactions. What is the primary purpose of the Oklahoma Fair Housing Act? Is it A, to regulate real estate pricing, B, to prevent discrimination in housing, C, to control property development, or D, to manage rental agreements? The answer is B, to prevent discrimination in housing. The Oklahoma Fair Housing Act aims to eliminate discrimination in housing based on specific protected classes, ensuring equal access and opportunity in housing-related transactions. Which of the following actions is considered discriminatory under Oklahoma fair housing laws? Is it A, refusing to rent to someone based on their religion, B, setting a rental price based on property location, C, requiring a security deposit, or D, conducting credit checks on all applicants? The answer is A. Refusing to rent to someone based on their religion. Refusing to rent to someone based on their religion is discriminatory under Oklahoma fair housing laws, which protect against bias in housing transactions. Under Oklahoma fair housing laws, which of the following is not a protected class? Is it A. Race, B. National origin, C. Familial status, or D. Sexual orientation? The answer is D. Sexual orientation. Oklahoma fair housing laws do not include sexual orientation as a protected class, although federal and other local laws might offer such protections. Which agency is responsible for enforcing Oklahoma fair housing laws? Is it A. Oklahoma Department of Real Estate, B. Oklahoma Human Rights Commission, C. Oklahoma Housing Authority, or D. Oklahoma Real Estate Commission? The answer is B. Oklahoma Human Rights Commission. The Oklahoma Human Rights Commission is tasked with enforcing the fair housing laws, ensuring compliance, and addressing violations. What is the consequence for a real estate agent in Oklahoma who violates the state's fair housing laws? Is it A. No consequences, B. Fines and possible license suspension, C. Mandatory training only, or D. A warning letter? The answer is B. Fines and possible license suspension. Violations of Oklahoma's fair housing laws can lead to penalties such as fines, suspension, or revocation of a real estate license. The severity depends on the nature of the violation.
If you're finding this helpful, please take a minute to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more practice exams, useful tips, and complimentary study sessions with Birdsy.
Oklahoma-specific contract requirements. What is the minimum time frame a seller must provide for a buyer to review the Oklahoma Residential Property Condition Disclosure Statement? Is it A. 3 days, B. 5 days, C. 10 days, or D. 15 days? The answer is C. 10 days. Oklahoma law requires sellers to provide the disclosure statement to buyers at least 10 days before closing to allow sufficient time for review and negotiation. In Oklahoma, which of the following is not required to be included in a written real estate contract? Is it A. Legal description of the property, B. Purchase price, C. Closing date, or D. Buyer's credit history? The answer is D. Buyer's credit history. While most elements are essential, the buyer's credit history is not typically required in the contract itself, focusing instead on terms and property details. What is the purpose of the as-is clause in Oklahoma real estate contracts? Is it A. To guarantee property improvements, B. To limit seller's liability, C. To ensure buyer's financing, or D. To extend the inspection period? The answer is B. To limit seller's liability. The as-is clause indicates the buyer accepts the property's current condition, reducing the seller's liability for future repairs or defects discovered after the sale. In Oklahoma, who is responsible for ensuring the earnest money is deposited in a timely manner? Is it A. The broker, B. The seller, C. The buyer, or D. The title company? The answer is A. The broker. The broker is responsible for managing the earnest money, ensuring it is deposited into a trust account according to the contract terms and state regulations. Which of the following is a mandatory disclosure in Oklahoma real estate transactions? Is it A. Material defects, B. Previous owners, C. Nearby schools, or D. Future zoning changes? The answer is A. Material defects. Sellers in Oklahoma must disclose known material defects through the Residential Property Condition Disclosure Statement, ensuring buyers are informed of potential issues. What is the maximum allowable time for a buyer to cancel a purchase contract after receiving the Oklahoma Residential Property Condition Disclosure Statement? Is it A, 3 days, B, 5 days, C, 7 days, or D, 10 days? The answer is B, 5 days. In Oklahoma, buyers have 5 days to cancel a purchase contract after receiving the Residential Property Condition Disclosure Statement, allowing them time to assess the property's condition and any potential issues. Overview of Oklahoma real estate statutes. What is the primary purpose of the Oklahoma Real Estate Commission? Is it A, to provide real estate education, B, to license and regulate real estate professionals, C, to set property tax rates, or D, to manage public housing? The answer is B, to license and regulate real estate professionals. The Oklahoma Real Estate Commission is responsible for licensing real estate professionals, regulating their activities, and enforcing compliance with state laws to protect the public interest. Which of the following is required for a real estate license in Oklahoma? Is it A, completion of a pre-license education course, B, a degree in real estate, C, 2 years of real estate experience, or D, membership in a real estate association? The answer is A, completion of a pre-license education course. To obtain a real estate license in Oklahoma, applicants must complete a pre-license education course and pass a state exam, ensuring they meet the necessary knowledge and ethical standards. What is the role of the Oklahoma Real Estate Commission in disciplinary actions? Is it A, to provide legal representation, B, to mediate disputes between agents, C, to investigate complaints and impose sanctions, or D, to approve real estate transactions? The answer is C, to investigate complaints and impose sanctions. The Commission investigates complaints and can impose disciplinary actions, including fines and license suspensions, ensuring adherence to legal and ethical standards in real estate practices. How often must Oklahoma real estate licenses be renewed? Is it A, annually, B, every 2 years, C, every 4 years, or D, every 3 years? The answer is D, every 3 years. Oklahoma real estate licenses are renewed every 3 years, requiring licensees to complete continuing education to ensure ongoing professional development and adherence to updated laws.
Stuck on a question? Just think of the Birdsy link in the description as your friendly neighborhood superhero, swooping in to save the day with answers. Feel free to explore it now and return to continue. Simply hit pause, and we'll be waiting when you get back.
Let's test your understanding of Oklahoma property ownership and land use. Types of property ownership, e.g. fee simple, leasehold, joint tenancy. In Oklahoma, which type of property ownership provides the owner with the most comprehensive rights, including the ability to sell, lease, or bequeath the property? Is it A, fee simple, B, leasehold, C, joint tenancy, or D, tenancy in common? The answer is A, fee simple. Fee simple ownership is the most complete form of ownership in Oklahoma, granting the owner full rights to use, lease, or transfer the property without restrictions, except those imposed by law. Which form of property ownership in Oklahoma automatically transfers ownership to the surviving owners upon the death of one owner? Is it A, tenancy in common, B, joint tenancy, C, leasehold, or D, fee simple? The answer is B, joint tenancy. Joint tenancy includes a right of survivorship, meaning that upon the death of one owner, the property automatically passes to the surviving joint tenants, bypassing probate. In Oklahoma, which type of property ownership allows multiple owners to hold unequal shares and pass their interest to heirs? Is it A, joint tenancy, B, fee simple, C, leasehold, or D, tenancy in common? The answer is D, tenancy in common. Tenancy in common allows owners to hold unequal shares and permits each owner to will their interest to heirs, unlike joint tenancies' equal shares and survivorship rights. Which type of property ownership in Oklahoma involves a temporary right to occupy or use land, typically defined by a lease agreement? Is it A, fee simple, B, joint tenancy, C, leasehold, or D, tenancy in common? The answer is C, leasehold. Leasehold ownership grants the tenant temporary rights to use the property as defined by a lease agreement without transferring ownership rights. Public versus private land use controls. Which of the following is an example of public land use control in Oklahoma? Is it A, deed restrictions, B, easements, C, zoning ordinances, or D, homeowners association rules? The answer is C, zoning ordinances. Zoning ordinances are public land use controls implemented by local governments to regulate land use and development, ensuring the community's health, safety, and welfare. What is the primary purpose of a comprehensive plan in Oklahoma land use? Is it A, to guide long-term development and land use, B, to enforce property taxes, C, to establish building codes, or D, to regulate water usage? The answer is A, to guide long-term development and land use. A comprehensive plan guides long-term development and land use, addressing community needs such as housing, transportation, and environmental protection, ensuring sustainable growth. How do private land use controls differ from public land use controls in Oklahoma? Is it A, private controls are enforced by the government, B, private controls are agreements between individuals, C, public controls are voluntary guidelines, or D, public controls do not affect residential areas? The answer is B, private controls are agreements between individuals. Private land use controls, like covenants, are agreements between private parties, while public controls are government-imposed regulations like zoning laws. What is a variance in the context of zoning laws in Oklahoma? Is it A, a change in property ownership, B, a new zoning category, C, a type of easement, or D, an exception to zoning requirements? The answer is D, an exception to zoning requirements. A variance allows property owners to deviate from zoning requirements, typically granted when strict enforcement would cause unnecessary hardship, ensuring land use flexibility. Land use and zoning laws. Which of the following best describes a variance in the context of Oklahoma zoning laws? Is it A, a change in property ownership, B, a temporary building permit, C, a legal exception to zoning rules, or D, a government-imposed land restriction? The answer is C, a legal exception to zoning rules. A variance is a legal allowance for a property owner to use their land in a way that deviates from the local zoning ordinance. It is granted to avoid unnecessary hardship. What is the primary purpose of zoning laws in Oklahoma? Is it A, to regulate land use and ensure orderly development, B, to increase property taxes, C, to encourage urban sprawl, or D, to grant building permits? The answer is A, to regulate land use and ensure orderly development. Zoning laws are designed to manage land use, ensuring orderly development and separating incompatible land uses, such as industrial and residential areas, to protect public health and safety. In Oklahoma, what is an easement? Is it A, ownership of a portion of land, B, a right to use another's land for a specific purpose, C, a temporary lease agreement, or D, a zoning classification? The answer is B, a right to use another's land for a specific purpose. An easement is a legal right to use another's land for a specific purpose, such as utility lines or access roads, without owning it, and it can affect property value and use. Which agency is primarily responsible for enforcing zoning laws in Oklahoma? Is it A, the Oklahoma State Government, B, the Environmental Protection Agency, C, the federal government, or D, local city or county planning departments? The answer is D, local city or county planning departments. Local government entities, such as city or county planning departments, are responsible for enforcing zoning laws, ensuring compliance, and addressing violations within their jurisdictions.
Notice the code in the corner? When you're stumped by a question, enter it at birdsy.ai for immediate help. Enjoy complimentary study sessions and access to hundreds of additional questions to help you pass your exam with confidence.
Condominiums and HOAs. What is the primary purpose of a homeowners association in an Oklahoma condominium community? Is it A, to provide legal advice to residents, B, to maintain and manage common areas, C, to sell properties within the community, or D, to determine property tax rates? The answer is B, to maintain and manage common areas. In Oklahoma, an HOA manages common areas and enforces community rules to maintain property values and ensure uniformity. This includes collecting fees for maintenance and repairs. Which document typically outlines the rights and responsibilities of condominium owners in Oklahoma? Is it A, Declaration of Condominium, B, Purchase Agreement, C, Lease Agreement, or D, Zoning Ordinance? The answer is A, Declaration of Condominium. The Declaration of Condominium is a legal document that details the rights and obligations of condo owners, including maintenance responsibilities and common area usage. How can an Oklahoma condominium owner influence decisions made by their HOA? Is it A, by filing a lawsuit, B, by paying extra fees, C, by participating in HOA meetings, or D, by ignoring HOA rules? The answer is C, by participating in HOA meetings. Condominium owners can attend HOA meetings, vote on issues, and even run for board positions to influence decisions and advocate for their interests. What is a common restriction that an HOA in an Oklahoma condominium might enforce? Is it A, limiting the number of vehicles per household, B, restricting the type of holiday decorations, C, prohibiting all outdoor furniture, or D, enforcing pet policies? The answer is D, enforcing pet policies. HOAs often enforce pet policies to maintain community standards and ensure the comfort of all residents, which can include size, type, and number of pets allowed. Environmental issues and agricultural land use. What is the primary purpose of Oklahoma's Right to Farm Act? Is it A, to increase agricultural subsidies, B, to restrict the use of pesticides, C, to protect agricultural operations from nuisance lawsuits, or D, to regulate organic farming standards? The answer is C, to protect agricultural operations from nuisance lawsuits. The Right to Farm Act in Oklahoma is designed to protect farmers from nuisance lawsuits, ensuring they can continue agricultural practices without legal interference, provided they adhere to existing regulations. How does Oklahoma's zoning law affect agricultural land use? Is it A, it designates areas specifically for agriculture, B, it prohibits all agricultural activities near urban areas, C, it mandates organic farming practices, or D, it allows unrestricted agricultural development? The answer is A, it designates areas specifically for agriculture. Oklahoma's zoning laws can designate specific areas for agricultural use, limiting non-agricultural development to preserve farmland and manage urban expansion effectively. What environmental concern is associated with agricultural land use in Oklahoma? Is it A, increased urbanization, B, deforestation, C, air pollution, Or D, soil erosion? The answer is D, soil erosion. Soil erosion is a significant environmental concern in Oklahoma due to its impact on land fertility and water quality, exacerbated by certain agricultural practices like overgrazing and improper tillage. Which agency is primarily responsible for regulating water use for agriculture in Oklahoma? Is it A, Oklahoma Department of Agriculture, B, Oklahoma Water Resources Board, C, Environmental Protection Agency, or D, Oklahoma Department of Environmental Quality? The answer is B, Oklahoma Water Resources Board. The Oklahoma Water Resources Board manages water rights and allocations, ensuring sustainable water use for agricultural purposes and protecting water resources. Let's continue with Oklahoma agency law and ethics. Agency relationship laws. In Oklahoma, what is the primary duty of a real estate agent when acting as a single agent for a client? Is it A, to negotiate the highest price possible, B, to act with undivided loyalty to the client, C, to ensure a quick sale of the property, or D, to provide equal services to all parties? The answer is B, to act with undivided loyalty to the client. In Oklahoma, a real estate agent acting as a single agent owes fiduciary duties, including loyalty, confidentiality, and full disclosure to their client. This ensures that the client's interests are prioritized above all else. Which of the following is a requirement for establishing an agency relationship in Oklahoma real estate? Is it A, a written agreement between the parties, B, a verbal agreement witnessed by a third party, C, an implied understanding through actions, or D, a handshake agreement? The answer is A, a written agreement between the parties. In Oklahoma, an agency relationship is established through a written agreement, ensuring clear communication and understanding of the agent's duties and responsibilities to the client. What is the primary ethical obligation of an Oklahoma real estate licensee when dealing with confidential information? Is it A, to disclose all information to the other party, B, to share information with colleagues for better service, C, to protect the client's confidential information, or D, to use information for personal advantage? The answer is C, to protect the client's confidential information. Oklahoma real estate licensees must maintain confidentiality of client information unless disclosure is required by law or client consent is given, protecting the client's privacy and interests. Under Oklahoma law, which scenario would terminate an agency relationship? Is it A, the agent finds a buyer for the property, B, the client changes their mind about selling, C, the agent moves to another brokerage, or D, the principal dies? The answer is D, the principal dies. Agency relationships in Oklahoma can be terminated by mutual agreement, fulfillment of the agency purpose, expiration, or by operation of law, such as the death of the principal or agent. Fiduciary duties and client representation. Which of the following best describes the fiduciary duty of loyalty in Oklahoma agency law? Is it A, ensuring the client receives the highest price possible, B, prioritizing the client's interests above the agent's own interests, C, disclosing all known facts about the property, or D, maintaining confidentiality of all client information? The answer is B, prioritizing the client's interests above the agent's own interests. The fiduciary duty of loyalty requires agents to prioritize their clients' interests above their own. This duty ensures that agents act in good faith and avoid conflicts of interest. How does the fiduciary duty of disclosure impact client representation under Oklahoma agency law? Is it A, agents can withhold information if it benefits the client, B, agents only disclose information when asked by the client, C. Agents must provide all material facts that could affect the client's decisions. Or D. Agents should disclose personal opinions about the property. The answer is C. Agents must provide all material facts that could affect the client's decisions. Disclosure requires agents to inform clients of all material facts that could influence their decision-making, ensuring clients have the necessary information to make informed decisions. What is the primary purpose of the fiduciary duty of care in client representation? Is it A, to ensure agents act with competence and diligence, B, to guarantee the client gets the best possible deal, C, to maintain confidentiality of all client interactions, or D, to prioritize the agent's personal growth and learning? The answer is A, to ensure agents act with competence and diligence. The fiduciary duty of care ensures that agents act with competence and diligence, utilizing their skills and expertise to serve the client's best interests effectively. In Oklahoma agency law, how does the fiduciary duty of accounting protect clients? Is it A, by ensuring agents prioritize financial transactions over other duties, B, by allowing agents to make financial decisions on behalf of the client, C, by requiring agents to disclose their personal financial situation to the client, or D, by mandating accurate tracking and reporting of all client-related financial transactions? The answer is D, by mandating accurate tracking and reporting of all client-related financial transactions. The fiduciary duty of accounting requires agents to accurately track and report all financial transactions related to the client, safeguarding the client's financial interests. Oklahoma Ethics Guidelines and Enforcement. What is the primary purpose of the Oklahoma Ethics Commission in relation to agency law? Is it A, to license real estate agents, B, to enforce ethical standards, C, to mediate disputes between agents, or D, to set property tax rates? The answer is B, to enforce ethical standards. The Oklahoma Ethics Commission is responsible for enforcing ethical standards and ensuring compliance with state laws regarding ethical conduct among public officials and employees, including real estate agents. Which of the following actions could result in an ethics violation under Oklahoma agency law? Is it A, failing to disclose a conflict of interest, B, negotiating a commission, C, providing a market analysis, or D, advertising an open house? The answer is A, failing to disclose a conflict of interest. Failing to disclose a conflict of interest can lead to an ethics violation because transparency and honesty are required under Oklahoma agency law to maintain integrity and trust. What is required for an ethical disclosure in Oklahoma real estate transactions? Is it A, providing a verbal agreement, B, offering a discount on services, C, full and honest communication, or D, limiting information to clients only? The answer is C, full and honest communication. Ethical disclosure requires full and honest communication of all material facts that could affect the transaction, ensuring that all parties have the necessary information to make informed decisions. How does the Oklahoma Ethics Commission handle complaints against real estate agents? Is it A, by issuing immediate penalties, B, by ignoring minor complaints, C, by forwarding them to federal agencies, or D, by conducting thorough investigations? The answer is D, by conducting thorough investigations. The Oklahoma Ethics Commission investigates complaints thoroughly, ensuring that any violations of ethical standards or laws are addressed appropriately, which may include penalties or corrective actions. Let's continue with a review of Oklahoma property valuation. Basic principles of property valuation. What is the primary purpose of a property appraisal in Oklahoma? Is it A, to determine the market value of the property, B, To establish the property's historical value. C. To calculate the property insurance premium. Or D. To set the property's rental price. The answer is A. To determine the market value of the property. A property appraisal provides an unbiased estimate of the property's market value, which is essential for transactions, tax assessments, and financing. It ensures all parties have a fair understanding of the property's worth. Which principle of property valuation considers the impact of external factors on property value? Is it A. Principle of substitution, B. Principle of externalities, C. Principle of anticipation, or D. Principle of contribution? The answer is B. Principle of externalities. The principle of externalities examines how external factors like economic changes, neighborhood developments, and environmental conditions can affect a property's value, either positively or negatively. How does the principle of substitution affect property valuation? Is it A. It increases the property's value based on unique features, B. It bases value on future income potential, C. It limits the property's value to the cost of a similar property, or D. It evaluates the property's historical significance? The answer is C. It limits the property's value to the cost of a similar property. The principle of substitution states that a property's value is influenced by the cost of acquiring an equally desirable substitute property. It ensures that values remain competitive in the market. What role does the principle of contribution play in property valuation? Is it A. It determines the property's highest and best use, B. It assesses the property's environmental impact, C. It calculates depreciation over time, or D. It evaluates how a component adds to the property's value? The answer is D. It evaluates how a component adds to the property's value. The principle of contribution states that the value of a property component is determined by how much it adds to or detracts from the property's overall market value, guiding improvements and investments.
Don't forget to comment below with your tips, challenges, and thoughts on exam preparation. Your experiences can make a big difference for others.
Sales comparison, cost, and income approaches. In the sales comparison approach, what is a primary factor that appraisers must adjust for when comparing properties? Is it A. Building materials, B. Age of the property, C. or D. Number of rooms? The answer is C. Location. Appraisers adjust for differences in location as it significantly impacts property value. A property's location can affect desirability, accessibility, and market demand, influencing its overall valuation. Which method in the cost approach estimates the cost to construct a similar building at current prices? Is it A. Replacement cost, B. Reproduction cost, C. Depreciation cost, or D. Market? The answer is A. Replacement cost. The replacement cost method estimates the cost to construct a building with the same utility using modern materials and standards, excluding unique historical features. What is the primary purpose of the income approach in property valuation? Is it A. To estimate construction costs, B. To assess income generation potential, C. To compare sales prices, or D. To evaluate land value? The answer is B. To assess income generation potential. The income approach determines a property's value based on its ability to generate income. This method is particularly useful for valuing rental properties or commercial real estate. In the context of the cost approach, what does depreciation refer to? Is it A. Increase in value over time, B. Construction costs, C. Market trends, or D. Loss in value due to various factors? The answer is D. Loss in value due to various factors. Depreciation in the cost approach accounts for the loss in value of a property due to physical deterioration, functional obsolescence, or external factors over time. Let's review Oklahoma real estate financing. Mortgage loans and financing options. Which type of mortgage loan is commonly used in Oklahoma for borrowers who qualify for government assistance? Is it A, conventional loan, B, Federal Housing Administration, FHA loan, C, jumbo loan, or D, U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs, VA loan? The answer is B, Federal Housing Administration, FHA loan. FHA loans are insured by the Federal Housing Administration and are popular among first-time homebuyers in Oklahoma due to their lower down payment requirements and flexible credit guidelines. What is a key feature of adjustable rate mortgages offered in Oklahoma? Is it A, interest rates can change over time, B, they offer a fixed interest rate for the loan term, C, they are only available to first-time homebuyers, or D, they require a 20% down payment? The answer is A, interest rates can change over time. ARMs have interest rates that can change periodically based on a benchmark index, potentially leading to lower initial rates compared to fixed-rate mortgages, but with the risk of rate increases. In Oklahoma, what is the primary benefit of a VA loan for eligible veterans? Is it A, higher interest rates compared to conventional loans, B, mandatory private mortgage insurance, C, limited to purchasing rural properties, or D, no down payment requirement? The answer is D, no down payment requirement. VA loans, backed by the Department of Veterans Affairs, offer benefits such as no down payment and no private mortgage insurance, making homeownership more accessible for veterans. How does a fixed-rate mortgage benefit Oklahoma homeowners in the long term? Is it A, interest rates fluctuate with the market, B, monthly payments vary annually, C, consistent monthly payments, or D, lower initial interest rates than ARMs? The answer is C, consistent monthly payments. Fixed-rate mortgages provide stability by maintaining the same interest rate throughout the loan term, protecting homeowners from market fluctuations and allowing for predictable monthly payments. Loan applications and approval processes. What is the primary factor that lenders in Oklahoma consider when approving a loan application? Is it A, property value, B, credit history, C, employment status, or D, loan purpose? The answer is B, credit history. Lenders prioritize credit history as it reflects the borrower's financial responsibility and ability to repay the loan. A good credit history can lead to better loan terms and approval chances. In Oklahoma, which document is commonly required to verify a borrower's income during the loan application process? Is it A, pay stubs, B, credit report, C, bank statements, or D, tax returns? The answer is A, pay stubs. Pay stubs are typically used to verify a borrower's income, providing lenders with evidence of consistent earnings and employment status. What is the typical loan-to-value ratio requirement for conventional loans in Oklahoma? Is it A, 70%, B, 75%, C, 80%, or D, 85%? The answer is C, 80%. Conventional loans often require an LTV of 80%, meaning the borrower must provide a 20% down payment to avoid private mortgage insurance. Which Oklahoma law primarily governs the disclosure requirements for loan applications? Is it A, Real Estate Settlement Procedures Act, B, Fair Credit Reporting Act, C, Equal Credit Opportunity Act, or D, Truth in Lending Act? The answer is D, Truth in Lending Act. The Truth in Lending Act mandates clear disclosure of loan terms and costs to protect consumers during the lending process. Oklahoma mortgage disclosure requirements. What is the primary purpose of the Oklahoma mortgage disclosure requirements? Is it A, to ensure borrowers are fully informed about their mortgage terms, B, to increase the interest rates on mortgages, C, to simplify the loan application process, or D, to provide tax benefits to lenders? The answer is A, to ensure borrowers are fully informed about their mortgage terms. The Oklahoma mortgage disclosure requirements aim to ensure borrowers are fully informed about the terms and conditions of their mortgage, promoting transparency and preventing predatory lending practices. Which document is required to be provided to the borrower under Oklahoma's mortgage disclosure regulations before closing? Is it A, loan estimate, B, closing disclosure, C, good faith estimate, or D, mortgage note? The answer is B, closing disclosure. The closing disclosure form must be provided to borrowers at least 3 business days before closing, detailing all costs associated with the mortgage loan. How does the Oklahoma mortgage disclosure requirements impact adjustable rate mortgages? Is it A, by fixing the interest rate for the loan term, B, by eliminating the possibility of rate changes, C, by requiring clear explanations of rate changes and payment impacts, or D, by reducing the initial interest rate? The answer is C, by requiring clear explanations of rate changes and payment impacts. Disclosure requirements mandate that lenders clearly explain how interest rates and payments may change over time, ensuring borrowers understand the potential variability in their loan terms. What must lenders disclose about prepayment penalties under Oklahoma mortgage disclosure requirements? Is it A, the exact amount of the penalty, B, the option to waive the penalty, C, that penalties are prohibited, or D, the conditions and costs associated with prepayment penalties? The answer is D, the conditions and costs associated with prepayment penalties. Lenders must disclose the existence of any prepayment penalties, including the conditions under which they apply and the potential costs, ensuring borrowers are aware of penalties for early loan repayment. Oklahoma-specific loan programs. Which Oklahoma-specific loan program is designed to assist first-time homebuyers with down payment and closing cost assistance? Is it A, OHFA Homebuyer Down Payment Assistance, B, VA Home Loan, C, USDA Rural Development Loan, or D, Fannie Mae Home Ready? The answer is A, OHFA Homebuyer Down Payment Assistance. The Oklahoma Housing Finance Agency offers programs specifically for first-time homebuyers, providing down payment and closing cost assistance to make homeownership more accessible. What is a key feature of the Oklahoma Mortgage Credit Certificate Program? Is it A, offers 0 interest rates, B, provides grants for home improvements, C, allows a federal tax credit, or D, eliminates property taxes? The answer is C, allows a federal tax credit. The Oklahoma Mortgage Credit Certificate Program provides a federal tax credit to first-time homebuyers, allowing them to reduce their federal tax liability, making homeownership more affordable. Which agency administers the Oklahoma Rural Development Loan Program? Is it A, Oklahoma Housing Finance Agency, B, USDA Rural Development, C, Federal Housing Administration, or D, Veterans Affairs? The answer is B, USDA Rural Development. The USDA Rural Development administers the Oklahoma Rural Development Loan Program, which aims to support rural housing development by providing affordable financing options. What is the income eligibility requirement for the OHFA Homebuyer Down Payment Assistance Program? Is it A, no income restrictions, B, income must exceed $100,000, C, income must be below the national median, Or D, income limits vary by county? The answer is D, income limits vary by county. The OHFA Homebuyer Down Payment Assistance Program requires applicants to meet specific income limits, which vary by county, to ensure the program targets those in need of financial assistance. Oklahoma Housing Finance Agency. What primary service does the Oklahoma Housing Finance Agency provide to the residents of Oklahoma? Is it A, real estate brokerage services, B, property management for luxury apartments, C, affordable housing and financing programs, or D, construction of commercial properties? The answer is C, affordable housing and financing programs. The OHFA provides affordable housing opportunities through various programs, including rental assistance and homebuyer assistance. Their goal is to ensure that low and moderate income families have access to housing. Which program is not administered by the Oklahoma Housing Finance Agency? Is it A, Housing Choice Voucher Program, B, Public Transportation Services, C, Low-Income Housing Tax Credit, or D, Homebuyer Down Payment Assistance? The answer is B, Public Transportation Services. OHFA administers programs like the Housing Choice Voucher Program, but does not manage public transportation services, which are outside its housing-focused mission. How does the Oklahoma Housing Finance Agency support first-time homebuyers? Is it A, by offering down payment assistance, B, by providing free home furnishings, C, by reducing property taxes, or D, by offering free home inspections? The answer is A, by offering down payment assistance. OHFA supports first-time homebuyers by providing down payment assistance, making homeownership more accessible to those who may struggle with initial costs. What is the primary goal of the Oklahoma Housing Finance Agency's rental assistance programs? Is it A, to increase property values, B, to promote luxury housing, C, to develop commercial real estate, or D, to assist low-income families in affording housing? The answer is D, to assist low-income families in affording housing. The primary goal is to help low-income families afford safe and decent housing by subsidizing rental costs, thereby alleviating financial burdens and improving living conditions. Let's look at Oklahoma disclosure requirements and forms. Oklahoma-specific disclosure requirements. What is the primary purpose of the Oklahoma Property Condition Disclosure Act? Is it A, to increase property taxes, B, to inform buyers of known property defects, C, to regulate real estate agent commissions, or D, to establish zoning laws? The answer is B, to inform buyers of known property defects. The Oklahoma Property Condition Disclosure Act requires sellers to disclose known defects in the property to potential buyers, ensuring informed decision-making and reducing the risk of legal disputes post-sale. Which of the following must be disclosed under Oklahoma's disclosure requirements? Is it A, the seller's reason for moving, B, the previous owner's identity, C, known structural defects, or D, the property's market value? The answer is C, known structural defects. Sellers in Oklahoma must disclose known material defects, including structural issues, environmental hazards, and legal encumbrances, to ensure buyers are fully informed about the property's condition. How often must the Oklahoma Residential Property Condition Disclosure Statement be updated? Is it A, whenever the property's condition changes, B, annually, C, every 5 years, or D, only when requested by the buyer? The answer is A, whenever the property's condition changes. The Oklahoma Residential Property Condition Disclosure Statement must be updated whenever there is a change in the property's condition that affects previously disclosed information, ensuring accuracy for potential buyers. Which document is essential for sellers to complete under Oklahoma's disclosure laws? Is it A, title insurance policy, B, homeowners association bylaws, C, environmental impact statement, or D, residential property condition disclosure statement? The answer is D, residential property condition disclosure statement. The residential property condition disclosure statement is a key document that sellers must complete to inform buyers of any known defects, ensuring transparency and compliance with state laws. Commonly used Oklahoma forms. What is the primary purpose of the Oklahoma Residential Property Condition Disclosure Form? Is it A, to inform buyers about the condition of a property, B, to assess the market value of a property, C, to negotiate the price of a property, or D, to certify the legal ownership of a property? The answer is A, to inform buyers about the condition of a property. The Oklahoma Residential Property Condition Disclosure Form is designed to inform buyers about the condition of a property, ensuring transparency and helping them make informed decisions. Which of the following is not a requirement for the Oklahoma Lead-Based Paint Disclosure Form? Is it A, disclosure of known lead-based paint hazards, B, provision of a property survey, C, provision of a pamphlet on lead safety, or D, inclusion in the sales contract? The answer is B, provision of a property survey. The Oklahoma Lead-Based Paint Disclosure Form requires disclosure of known lead-based paint hazards, but not the provision of a property survey. What information is typically included in the Oklahoma Seller's Disclosure Statement? Is it A, the seller's personal opinions on the neighborhood, B, historical property values, C, property defects and environmental hazards, or D, local school district ratings? The answer is C, property defects and environmental hazards. The Oklahoma Seller's Disclosure Statement typically includes information on property defects, environmental hazards, and any structural issues, ensuring buyers are aware of potential concerns. Which form is used to disclose the presence of flood zones in Oklahoma? Is it A, Oklahoma Lead-Based Paint Disclosure Form, B, Oklahoma Residential Property Condition Disclosure Form, C, Oklahoma Seller's Disclosure Statement, or D, Oklahoma Flood Hazard Disclosure Form? The answer is D, Oklahoma Flood Hazard Disclosure Form. The Oklahoma Flood Hazard Disclosure Form is used to inform buyers about the property's location in a flood zone, which can affect insurance and property value. Specific procedures for transactions. Which document is required to be provided to the buyer before entering into a sales contract in Oklahoma? Is it A, lead-based paint disclosure, B, environmental impact report, C, property condition disclosure statement, or D, homeowners association bylaws? The answer is C, property condition disclosure statement. The Oklahoma Residential Property Condition Disclosure Statement is a mandatory document that sellers must provide to buyers before signing a sales contract, outlining the property's condition. What is the primary purpose of the Oklahoma Brokerage Relationship Disclosure Form? Is it A, to outline the financial terms of the agreement, B, to disclose the nature of the brokerage relationship, C, to provide a detailed property inspection report, or D, to finalize the purchase agreement? The answer is B, to disclose the nature of the brokerage relationship. The form is designed to inform potential clients about the nature of the brokerage relationship, ensuring transparency and understanding of the agent's role. When must the Oklahoma Residential Property Condition Disclosure Statement be updated by the seller? Is it A, if new defects are discovered before closing, B, only if requested by the buyer, C, after the closing date, or D, every 6 months? The answer is A, if new defects are discovered before closing, Sellers are required to update the disclosure statement if they become aware of new defects or issues before closing, ensuring buyers have the most accurate information. What is the consequence of failing to provide the required disclosure forms in an Oklahoma real estate transaction? Is it A, the transaction is automatically void? B, the buyer must pay a penalty? C, the seller is fined by the state? Or D, the buyer may rescind the contract? The answer is D, the buyer may rescind the contract. Failure to provide required disclosures can result in legal action against the seller, including the possibility of contract rescission or damages awarded to the buyer.
Thanks for joining us today. If you found this video helpful, subscribe to our channel for more practice exams, tips, and tricks. And don't forget to visit Birdsy.ai for complimentary study sessions with Birdsy, your AI-powered study partner.